Chapter 28. Blake. Vote Henry for school board. Vote for Emily for school board. Kaylee. Dear Ms. Graham, you're going to think I'm losing it, but I'm not going to run for the school board elections. It doesn't feel fair to take a spot if I'm changing schools next year anyway. I know there are no students on the school board at La Ventana, but not trying to sound conceited, I'll just propose it. I do know how to get things done. I'm a barrette after all. I talked to my parents last night. I told them I don't like when they step into my life and make huge tornadoes. Did they stop for 1 second and think how I'd feel if they got my teacher placed on leave? They totally looked surprised, but they listened. I've never done that before. Not with them. It felt good. Also, late Saturday afternoon, Emily called my house. She said they were all going to the movies and I could join them if I wanted. At first, I got all paranoid because it's not like Emily and I are friends anymore. But then I decided if I didn't go, the three of them would probably spend the whole time gossiping about me. And guess what? I had fun. Aviva. Date, February 10th. 23 days until March 5th school board meeting. Emily, Sharon, Cecilia, Kaylee, and I went to see a movie. Emily sat next to me and we both totally cracked up at all the funny parts, and even only medium funny parts, and then couldn't stop laughing until our stomachs hurt. It's so great to be silly with Emily again. I thought it'd be weird, hanging out with Kaylee and Emily. It was at first, but after a while, it was fine again. I just about fell out of my chair when Kaylee told me she wasn't running for the school board. Students from all over the district can run, but this first term, I hope 2 kids from White Oak Elementary School get elected. It seems only fair since we did all the work. I'm bummed that Kaylee and I are leaving the school district next year, but Kaylee thinks we can get on the school board at La Ventana. Kaylee thinks she can do anything. The strange thing is that she's usually right. I started thinking, maybe I can do anything too. Kaylee has guts. She goes for what she wants. Maybe that's what I have to do too. So tonight, I worked up my nerve to sit Ima and Abba down for a talk. This is what I said. That sometimes I don't think they really hear me. I know they want what's best for me, but that my thoughts and feelings need to matter too. Please, 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 could I at least be part of the decision about middle school? In 7 years, I'll be an adult. Maybe we could visit both La Ventana and Sequoia Middle School and then decide together. Good news, they listened to me without interrupting. Bad news, they said they needed to think about it, which usually means no. Sharon. To be honest, I was a little miffed that Emily invited Kaylee to the movies. But surprisingly, it turned out okay. Emily sat right smack in between Aviva and me. She shared her red licorice, I shared my popcorn, and I decided that maybe this is a friendship that can stretch to 3 or even 4. Emily, Aviva, Cecilia, and me. That works. The jury's out on Kaylee, though. Only time will tell. Blake. Happy Valentine's Day. That's very cute. Cecilia. Hola, abuelita. Kai brought a stack of Valentines to my apartment. I guess he collected them from my classroom mailbox. I was totally surprised, and I don't know why, but it made me want to cry a little, even though I didn't feel sad. Words to practice. Valentines. Las tarjetas del Día del San Valentín. De San Valentín. These are cards that celebrate El Día de Amor y Amistad. Besos y abrazos, Cecilia. Sharon. So there are rules about Valentine's Day. Bring a card for everyone. Don't leave anyone out. And for years, I've gotten cheapo, mass-produced, folded pieces of cartoon paper with scribbled signatures. But this year, I found 5 real Valentines with real messages. I think this is the first year that people actually know me well enough to write something meaningful. I'll take it. Chapter 29. School board announcements. Results of school board elections. New members, Henry Lynn and Emily Thompson. Agenda items for next meeting, March 5th. Standardized testing schedule, nutritional content of school lunches, administrative leave presentation / decision, B. Graham, gifted and talented programming. Emily. Status. Little smile, proud smile. Dear Hope. OMG, OMG, OMG! You won't believe it. 2 amazing things happened. Not only was I elected to the school board, but we might be on television tonight. Yippee! After school, KCAL 7, yes, for real, interviewed Sharon and me about our Kid Chat blog post for a local interest story, following up on the news clip from the last school board meeting. They needed our parents' permission, of Of course they said yes, and asked us to stay after school for an interview. OMG, there was an actual microphone and a real live camera operator. Eek! The reporter asked a few questions about the blog post, but then Sharon, she's so brave. She leaned right into the camera and said, "We're working on another blog post right now. This one's about our teacher, Ms. Graham. We'd like to raise awareness and get her job back." And then the reporter was all, "Tell us more about that." And Sharon jumped right in with all that happened, and how it's not fair, and Ms. Graham being such a great teacher. And now that we've got students on the board, maybe we've got a chance at keeping one of the best teachers in the world. Wow. I know the news doesn't run every part of what's filmed, but I bet there's a good chance they'll show at least a part of the interview. Can't wait to tell Dad. Maybe Mum will let me stay up late to watch the 11 o'clock news. Love and guts, Emily. P.S. It might seem strange that I invited Kaylee to the movies after all she's done to me. Here's the thing. If I get to choose who I want to be, I want to be the kind of person who never chooses to leave anyone out. Sharon. Mum and I went for a walk before dinner. She linked her arm in mine and told me she was proud of me for not giving up on friendship, for not giving up on what's right, for knowing what's worth fighting for and what things to let go. When I asked her if I could invite a few friends over for pizza, she said, "Sure thing, sweet thing," and hugged me. I finally have some true friends. People I trust. I feel like I've been waiting to find them forever. Who knew they were right under my nose the whole time? Kai. Hey, Frog, guess what? I found out that Cecilia's new place is 2 miles from my house. I can walk it in 27 minutes. I can run it in 15. I can skateboard it in 12. Yesterday I half ran and half walked, so it took me 22. Next Wednesday, Cecilia and I are meeting at the library to do homework and read. She mostly likes realistic fiction, but I bet even the first chapter of Harry Potter will get her hooked on fantasy. She said she'll read one of my favorites, and I promised to read one of hers. As for Miss Graham, it's coming down to the wire because the school board meeting is in 3 days. But after all the excitement recently, the world seems strangely quiet. This makes me nervous. Blake. Malala says 1 child, 1 teacher, 1 book, and 1 pen can change the world. Ms. Graham is that teacher. We are those students. Please do not stand in our way. Show your support. Come to Monday's school board meeting. Chapter 30. Henry. Scene, school board meeting. Blake and Aviva's image with Malala's quote is everywhere. It's on hundreds of flyers that were placed on every seat in the boardroom. It's been emailed and posted on social media and hand-delivered to a certain news station, which has apparently come to cover this event. KCAL 7 reporting crew is stationed throughout the room. Ms. Graham is sitting in the front row wearing a stiff suit and looking serious. Agenda topic. Administrative leave presentation/decision. B. Graham. Investigator. In review, I conducted meticulous interviews with students, teachers, parents, and staff. After careful analysis of data, one clear theme rose to the surface. Clearly, Ms. Graham's teaching methods are outside the box. Henry. But interesting, right? Sure to grab kids' attention? Maybe inspiring? Stern lady. I'll remind our newest board members that our policy is to listen to the report in full before any comments and before a vote. Henry. Got it. Sits on hands. Investigator. Back to my findings. The clear theme that arose is that Ms. Graham has been teaching these children to think and speak for themselves. Pauses and looks at Aviva, who looks like she's about to burst. To be active learners rather than passive recipients. With this method, there have been complications, for sure. Ones that a more seasoned teacher might have avoided. Emily grabs Henry's hand under the table. Investigator. In my interview of Ms. Graham, she provided me with extensive documentation, research articles, and her own personal notes from class. While there were some passionate voices in support of Ms. Graham, the most convincing rationale was her own. It is clear her methods were well thought out and research-based. For this reason, my recommendation to the school board is to provide master teacher mentoring for a full year. Henry squeezes Emily's hand. Ms. Graham still has a serious face. Investigator. And for Ms. Graham to resume her teaching position as soon as possible. Henry. Yes! Cheers. Stops, looks around. Oops, sorry. Emily stands up and starts clapping. Kids from B5 jumping up and down in the audience, whooping, and some kids happy crying, the kind that surprises you while you're smiling. Audience. Except for a few crotchety people in the back, everyone stands up and starts clapping. Henry considers tap dancing but decides against it. Emily speaks to Henry. The crowd is so loud only he can hear her. I can't believe it. They listened. We did this. Henry, we really did. Thinks he might happy cry too, and knows he'd be okay with that. A bunch of B5 students jump out of their seats and run up to Miss Graham. Skinny man with tie waits for crowd to settle down. The excitement is refreshing, if you ask me. I hope you all stay this engaged for our next topic, which has to do with standardized testing. Henry, too excited to groan, wipes a happy tear from his eye. Blake. Aviva. Date, March 5th. Tonight it felt like we were in the center of a movie, and we kind of were with the news station filming the whole time. When we found out Ms. Graham was getting her job back, we screamed and jumped and cheered, and everything was so loud I could hardly think. But it was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful! Ima and Abba came to the school board meeting to support our team. The whole night they kept sneaking peeks at me, and I wondered if maybe I had food stuck in my teeth or something. On the drive home, I found out why. They said I'm turning into such a remarkable young woman, with a good head on her shoulders and a passionate soul. Ima twisted around in the front seat so that she could see my eyes. She said they've been thinking about our conversation, that they think I'm right, that we do need to make this decision together. Ima suggested we set up appointments to go visit a few different schools, including Sequoia Middle School, where Emily will be going, and La Ventana. Abba added that they will not send me to any school they feel is unsafe, but that they will try to be open-minded. I wanted to climb right over the seats and hug them, but I didn't for obvious seatbelt-related reasons. Plus, I didn't want to make this a big deal, even though I kind of feel like it is. Kai. Whoop whoop, frog! Can't wait. Ms. Graham is coming back. Tonight was tight. The KCAL 7 news team caught a bunch of us mid-hug. We straightened up real fast. I was smiling all over the place, but I gave an extra nice smile for the camera. Then the reporter caught sight of Ms. Graham. Ms. Graham, is there anything you'd like to say to our viewers? She stood there for a moment, like maybe she didn't know what to say. But then she leaned into the microphone. Just this. I'm eager to get back into the classroom and work with my extraordinary students. Us too, Ms. Graham. Us too. Chapter 31. Henry. Scene. Ms. Graham's classroom on her first day back. Nobody can believe this is really happening. Kaylee. Say something, Ms. Graham. Henry. Cups hands around mouth. Speech! 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 Miss Graham stands in front of the classroom wearing her frogtastic socks and smiling. Aviva yells in an unusually loud voice, We missed you, Miss Graham! Everyone turns to look at Aviva in shock. Henry, I've never heard you talk that loud in my life. Miss Graham, all choked up. I missed you too. I'm so glad to be back. Emily, Miss Graham, are you crying? To my esteemed 5th grade students, I am not ashamed of crying in front of you, but I was too choked up to say what I wanted to say. For that reason, I'm putting it into a letter. I am incredibly touched by your efforts. You didn't sit back and wait for someone else to fix the situation. You stood up and made a difference yourselves. It has been an honor to watch you mature and find your voices this year. Class party tomorrow. We have plenty to celebrate. With the warmest of regards, Ms. Graham. Cecilia. Hola, abuelita. The town of White Oak has the most beautiful library in the world, with high ceilings and stained glass windows. Kai and I meet next to the water fountain and then read together, trading books. Both our elementary schools feed into the same middle school, so next year we'll be together again. How's that for luck? Our recipe book is halfway done. We'll mail a copy along with the soccer photo album that Mami's been making. Love you mucho. I remember what you said before. No hay mal que por bien no venga. You said that sometimes the good that comes out of something bad isn't clear to us at first. I'm not sure if that's true, but I think maybe it's a nice way to look at the world. Words to practice. Library, biblioteca, water fountain, bebedero. Besos y abrazos, Cecilia. Emily, status, a whole bunch of happy faces, like different kinds. Dear Hope, I can't wait to celebrate with Miss Graham tomorrow. A bunch of us are coming in early to help set up for the party. I got to thinking about Harold and the purple crayon again. Even though I don't go around drawing my world with the purple crayon, maybe I still get to make up my own story. I guess for that reason, middle school isn't looking so bad. Yippee! Love and guts, Emily. Henry, scene, class party, celebrating Ms. Graham's triumphant return to the classroom and Henry's never-ending awesomeness. Serving lemonade, honey wheat pretzels, cheese pizza, shrimp chips, and snickerdoodle cookies. Henry, nothing goes with lemonade like some good shrimp chips. Kaylee, Just ignore him until he says something relevant. Henry, salty and crispy, with a slight fishy taste. What more could you ask for? Kaylee, Ms. Graham, would I get in trouble if I dumped my lemonade on Henry's head? Ms. Graham, no comment. Sharon, maybe we can come up with a new project. Henry, let's pick something easy. How about world peace? Ms. Graham, there's still 3 months left of the school year. I bet you all can come up with something. Based on what you've accomplished thus far, I doubt anything's out of your reach. Henry, aw, even Kermit's getting misty-eyed. Long live the frog! Kaylee laughs. Henry, what? What's so funny? Kaylee, you are, remember? Henry, thank you. Small bow. Finally, my humor is appreciated. Ms. Tildy enters classroom carrying a huge box. Excuse me, Ms. Graham, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you've received some letters. I've been collecting them for you. Heaves box down on a table. The box is overflowing. Sharon, wow. Ms. Tildy, yes. Appears distracted by Kermit. Henry hopes she doesn't recognize the frog from when he was released in her office. I think perhaps the news coverage has gotten you some attention. Apparently, your students aren't the only ones you've made think. Blake, you're famous! Ms. Tildy. Oh, and a few of the letters are addressed to your class, Ms. Graham. I guess they've caught some people's attention, too. Couldn't imagine why. Smiles and winks at the class. Okay, sorry. Here we go. Ms. Graham, what can I say? They're pretty frogtastic. Gestures to classroom. Look at these walls. Kaylee, what? Modestly. No biggie, we just put up a few affirmations. Blake. Breathe, you're frogorific. Thank you for helping me choose what kind of person I want to be. Be honest, but be kind. Make a difference. Welcome back. Equality. Ribbit, we appreciate you. Hoppy together. Even something small can have a big impact. Kermit missed you. Wow. And then it is the end of the book where it helps you find more resources about different ways to help people, the Malala Fund, homelessness, poverty, spreading kindness, and acknowledgements.